Okay, we're live. Hey, welcome to my new vertical live series of tips and tricks, different tips and tricks each day of the week, most days of the week, Monday through Friday. I want to help you get your voice, your message, your information, your stories all out there into the world in as streamlined a way as possible so that you can spend time with the connections that you make, less so with the actual workflow on getting your podcast out there. I'm doing this in video form because as I play with this medium, there could be screen shares involved. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Today, I want to talk about something very, very specific. And as far as I understand, there's no chat room in this vertical live. So if you have any questions or you want to know more about anything that I'm saying, please leave a comment down below. That you can do. I tested that out yesterday with my first vertical live. That was a little bit rough. Rough because it was just the first time. You're always going to be rough the first time you experiment with something, but if you never experiment, you never learn how to do it. I am big on experiments, but that's for another day. I want to be very succinct with these vertical lives, and I want to give you 3 useful things that you can do with your podcast titles to help your discoverability, grow your audience, make more connections, whatever the goal is for your particular podcast, because your goals will change. Your goals will different from person to person. So it really depends on your goal. If you need any help with that, of course, you can find me in all these places. Because this is what I do for a living. I went from being an English teacher overseas to working in podcasting because I made a podcast and then people started to ask me to help them with theirs, which I friggin' love. So thank goodness for my life. Okay, let's get to it. Three things you can do to make your podcast titles more discoverable, more podcast growth oriented. Tip 1, plan your episode titles early. Look, if you wait to the end of your workflow to go, oh, now I need to give it a name, you're going to forget some things. You're going to write something very quickly. You might write something very cute and fun, but it doesn't actually help people find your episode. You really want to put your keywords in there. You want to put your keywords in a certain location that I'll tell you in a second. And to do that, you need to do it early. So as soon as you're done recording, or as soon as, even before you record, you can create your title if you know exactly what's going into it. But make sure that your title has all of the good things so that people can find it. The people that are looking for your content can find it. Tip number 2, as promised, front load your keywords. If you're looking in a podcast app, sure, if they search for a keyword, your podcast episode might be in there. But if they're scrolling through, like if I use Podcast Addict, there we go. And if I, like, for example, type in EDMR, type of therapy that I'm very interested in right now, if I look through and I find a bunch of podcasts, right? So I'm going to click on one of them. And if you look through here, new episodes. Here we go. If you look through here, you'll see how many words, right? So I'm looking through episodes. If I don't see the important keywords in the beginning of the title, I'm likely to look at something else or to go to another podcast until I see the actual words I want. So front load, put your keywords, the important keywords that people are searching for, first. So once they find your podcast, they find your episode, they're like, that's exactly what I want. And they press that play button that you want them to press. Because you want them to listen. I want them to listen to you. So let's get them there. So put your keywords first. I know it means that you might not have as fun of episode titles as you would like. So be it. You're here for connections and for your podcast goal, not to just create like really cutesy or interesting podcast episodes. That's not what podcast episodes are for. The creativity and all of that other stuff comes in the episodes themselves, not in how to get people to your episodes to find the information they're looking for. Number three, and I'm going to be doing these types of vertical lives at least every day this week, and then I'll settle on a specific schedule, but I'm going to be doing different parts of the different things that I help folks with, like workflow, YouTube for podcasting, ChatGPT for podcasting, podcast promotions, and other stuff. So come back at the same time every day this week at least, and then I'll have stuff. I mean, it'll be available on YouTube Lives forevermore, right? But if you want to be in here live to watch this, boom, it's going to be the same time every day this week. Okay, so number 3. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, please. Thank you very much. Number 3, focus on the transformation. I know that a summary seems like a good idea for an episode title, but what people are actually looking for is how they're going to grow, what they're going to learn, the outcome of the episode. How are you going to transform that person's life? That's what you need in the episode title. For example, from an episode of my own, Podcast Growth with Secret Metadata Hacks versus Metadata Hacks to Grow Your Podcast. Metadata are the things that I am promoting as being the tools to help you get discovered more, but nobody searches for metadata. No one. It's not the sexy thing they're looking for. But podcast growth, that is something that people search for. It's going to be something that they look for when they're scrolling for a new episode. So put the transformation first. The transformation is the podcast growth in this example, not the steps that they will take to do it. That's in the episode. So put the outcome, put the transformation in the title. YouTube titles are especially good at doing this. So if you need some inspiration, look at some YouTube titles. They put the outcome first. That's something that YouTubers are better at doing than podcasters are doing. Sorry, not sorry, it's true. Ever since I've been putting more attention on my YouTube episode titles, I've gotten better at making episode titles for my podcast. Happens. Okay, so those are the 3 tips to recap really quickly. Plan your titles early, front load your keywords, and focus on the results, not a summary. Those are the 3 things I want you to look at your titles and to shape them. Focus on the titles, the episode titles you're making going forward, and then if you have time, go backwards. But don't start at the beginning of your episodes. You probably have too many and that'll take a long time. You'll get discouraged. Start with where you are now and improve it forward and slowly go back and fix the other ones because you want to see the growth in the episodes that are coming up first. And then when it's working, come back and do the other ones. All right, I'm going to be back the same time tomorrow. If you like this, give me a thumbs up, and by all means, please subscribe to the channel. I've got tips and tricks for all of those different categories of podcasting so you can get your message, your story, your information out there and connect with folks that you want to about the topic and whatnot. Losing my voice, I'm so excited. So you can look at the playlist for the specific kinds of videos that you want, and by all means, search for my shorts. I'm really proud of my YouTube shorts. I think they are quick tips that you can use. This one's a little bit longer. I will aim for these to be 5 to 10 minutes, closer to 5, so you can get the information, go make the change in your podcast, and make the connections you want to make. I'm pounding on my desk because I want you